Call this Topsham Select Board meeting to order February 16, 2023 from the Donald A. Russell Meeting Room. Would you all please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. And would you call the roll, please?
Well, David Douglas,
Oh, I'm here.
Barry Brilliant here, Ruth Lyons here, Matt Nixon,
Present.
Roland Tufts.
Here.
And we have Derek Skropchansky, our town manager, also at the head table.
Thank you, Patty. Town manager.
Hey, welcome everyone. Just to inform the board, Crooked Construction sent a letter to the select board on February 6th to inform the community they are deferring moving forward so they can meet with stakeholders to find acceptable options to consider before they bring it back. The town will not be mailing out hearing notices and has canceled the locations we have tentatively reserved for public hearings. The MSAT 75 Selectmen Finance Committee meeting will be held at the Forum Room at Mount Ararat High School on March 8th from 6:30 to 8. This is to go over the MOE budget. They will be sending out emails to all of you shortly. And we have several openings for our town committee. So if you're interested, please visit the town's website for more information. There's applications there as well. And lastly, we just saying happy birthday to Patty Williams, who's celebrating her 80th birthday tomorrow. So she's been doing this for over 35 years. We just want to wish you all a happy birthday, Patty.
Thank you.
I can't believe we don't have cake, Garrett, but whatever.
It's kind of
I tried to get her to make one for herself.
Any questions of the manager? Nothing. All right, thank you. Boards and committee reports and updates. Update from the Topsham Trail Riders on data collections and grant opportunities. Jenny Little, president.
Okay. Good evening. As I was introduced, my name is Jenny Little. And I think I last stood here was the middle of December where we had just, we had a public hearing to, I guess, explore the option of adding Tedford Road access from our trailhead to Rusty. And it was during that time that we heard from the public and we heard from you folks as to perhaps gathering some additional data. And so our head spun and spun and spun. And we thought it would behoove us to go sit there and plan ourselves on that road on a few occasions. My husband took, I think, some vacation time, and what else better? It's a good way to de-stress and count traffic. So we did, as you see, as presented on a couple of occasions during the month of January. Thursday for a few hours, we gathered some numbers, gathered what the traffic looked like. That was one of our longer stints of time. And then we continued on the following on Friday, just a couple hours in that stint. And then I went at the next week, really the following for another short stint. I actually even had Topsham PD came and checked on me. They were doing their due diligence. The K9 unit was eager to bite, But so I was like, hey, neighborhood watch, they're very attentive. So but as far as prospectively speaking, yeah, there's volume on that road. But as far as nothing that's unwarranted, nothing that's, that we couldn't work with, if you will. So I just I don't feel the need per se to read every word of that, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. Or if you, but I also have something else I want to make you aware of too, but we'll do this first.
So my question, we'd have to get this added to an agenda. I don't feel I was one that wanted more information, but those of you that wanted more, what were you looking for? And so when we do get it to the agenda, we're ready to make the decision.
No, well, I mean, wrong.
I think I was the one who pushed it, that's fine.
I did look at you.
And take it. Anyway, I just was really curious to look at what the potential interaction would be, based on your traffic and what you're seeing that other vehicles can go down the street, so.
That's fair. prospectively speaking, I would say, it's not an everyday affair that we would have an ATV on that, that road access as well. I think it'd probably be heavier on an event day perhaps. As far as the speeding and the because I think there was concern of the traffic, the extra traffic. It's not a highway, is not a word I would use to describe that per se. Is it folks going above? Sure, but I think with our due diligence and willing to work with the community and to work with that neighborhood, I think we could find a viable solution that could work.
The other half of this coin is, the chief has been out there doing some,
Yes, that's
right.
true. Yes, yes.
So I think we might, I mean, maybe.
And that can be an agenda.
Yeah, exactly. I
I
just
just,
speak to that.
you're right. You know, something I hadn't thought of until you just said it out loud. When you talk about an event, what's a typical event you're talking, size wise?
Well,
How
our
many
numbers,
machines?
numbers as far as machine wise, depends on the start of the season, middle of the season, but we're probably what, 20, 25 comfortably. Yeah, and then sometimes we've had those occasional larger ones when they've all hitched arrive, but that's no more than,
Every once.
And when those events happen, you would envision those who needed to run down to Rusty, whatever the reason, they would be the ones, the rest would meet at the trailhead.
yeah, they could meet up with us there, but we often have our kickoff, if you will, is often by the Norristic gas station on the old JNS, if you will. So we often don't delineate from our paths too much. We'll just stay on track, but if they need to get fuel, a few could go off to get fuel.
If you, when you have an event,
Yes,
would you, post signs or to let people know that's driving along there, going in on that road, that there was an event, with heavy traffic, or you could name what the event is?
Sure, sure.
Right.
It is my goal, to have the organization that we would have event signs placed to notify folks. One, it helps with the riders that they know which direction to go and to notify the community of, you know, ongoing or extra traffic.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next item.
Oh, yes. So, it's hard not to get a little excited because we are approaching the kickoff really well. It's really all year at the Little Household, but, we're kind of in our planning for the 2023 season and, we're looking at exploring the option of a municipal grant this year. I know last year we were on the verge, we were just about there. But in full disclosure, it would be our first year doing it. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to plant the seed to inform you of our interest in going that route. We will, yours truly and a few others will be attending a state of Maine municipal grant training this coming weekend to hear what the experts suggest and what the process typically is like. So I just, proposed or created a rough explanation as to what my understanding of the process is at this point. We have a very, very preliminary, I haven't let my trail master take too much of a look at it, but our preliminary figure is roughly at this point 45,000, but so there's I don't even want to dabble into the intricacies of it because I myself am still learning the intricacies and will know more after this coming Sunday.
So I would say with that, with all of our grant process, because it's a community, I believe the municipality has to be a part of it.
Yes,
So all of our grant, so just so you're aware in your timeline, if no one's reviewed it with you, we require anyone putting in for a grant, whether it's a zero-sum grant for the town's responsibility or any amount, we require them to come before the board to give permission to even put in.
yes,
So
sir.
have that in your timeline.
Yeah.
And then, depending on how the grant's written, who needs to accept it, if the money is sent to the community, we would have to bring that in and we would need to accept it. So there's still
Yep.
multi-layers there.
Understood. Yep,
Okay,
thank you.
all right, sorry for this portion of it. So Chief Hagan, just 2 seconds, I'm looking to get this back on an agenda item so we can finalize it. I would still want us to notify neighbors and make sure we have that whole conversation again. Could you be ready by? What do you think, Mark? What's the agenda?
March 16th is a good date.
Whatever work you've done on your side.
Yeah, I mean, I have the numbers now, but if you'd like to wait.
I only want to know what I'm gonna vote on.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Sounds good for everyone, put it to the March 16th agenda.
Just want to say, good job, you're a good spokesperson.
Thank you, I'm trying. Again, look, big shoes were filled, but I'm trying, so thank you.
Literally and figuratively.
Literally, yes, yes.
Thank you, Jenny. Anyone with public comment?
Hi, good evening. My name's Jennifer Hughes and I live at 27 Tedford Road. And I wanted to speak tonight because I'm against opening up Tedford Road for ATVs. I looked at the numbers that they have from sitting and watching traffic for a few days. And I would be curious to know what the traffic is during peak trail season or peak ATV season from spring to fall. The amount of traffic that goes on that trail. Like how many ATVs side by side are we talking that would be using the trail that might access Tedford Road? I took a ride down Middlesex Road from where the trail comes out on Middlesex Road. And I'm wondering why that's not been mentioned. Why can't the ATVs use the Middlesex Road? It's a wider road. It has a shoulder. Why couldn't the ATVs ride down the shoulder 15 miles an hour? It's actually going by less houses than on the Tedford Road by almost 10. There's more houses on Tedford Road that the ATVs would be going down by. And not only that, if the ATVs leave the trail, they're going down Tedford Road to Rusty's. And then turning back around and going back down by the same houses to get back on the trail. We're already battling speed on our road. Our road's very busy. Topsham Crossing was put in. So there's how many houses there, how many vehicles per house. And now the town is putting in more housing off the Tedford Road. But Fairview Commons housing is going in. So how many more residents houses is that gonna be, and how many more vehicles traveling down our road with people that have families that want to walk and ride their bikes, which is unsafe on our road to do. Our road is very narrow and nothing's been done to widen our road, even with all the houses and traffic that has come up. And would there be signage on the trail if this were to happen for people to know that they could go down to Rusty's? So is that, we're not just talking Topsham trail riders. If it's open to everybody that rides those trails. And if they're parking at the gas station on 196, couldn't they be fueling up their ATVs there? Why do they have to stop in the same town to get gas and food if they're parking already at a gas station where they can get those things?
There's 2 parking
No,
rows.
hold on. This is just public comment. There is no back. and
So
forth.
I just wanted to be clear that, and these numbers that they have from watching traffic in January does not show an accurate number of traffic once the roads are not posted. And we have all the construction vehicles from the Highlands as well. So to me, these numbers aren't accurate for when the ATV season is happening. So I just want people to be aware that our road is narrow. There's enough traffic on it. There's plenty of people that speed on it. And adding ATVs to the mix just does not seem right. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment tonight?
Not online.
Not online. Perfect. Oh, sorry. Gonna get that hand up.
I know. Jump up quick enough. Tracy Gregoire, Ward Road, Topsham. Thank you all for your service, and it's necessarily a fun job and takes a lot of time and effort. I'm here this evening.
Make sure you speak right in because broadcasting home and to us and stuff.
I am here this evening in support of 2 applicants for the open school board seat. This vote is really important to our town. We need someone who will focus on the needs of all students in our district as a whole. I believe that Ms. Jennifer Banis, as a local business owner and mother of 3 kids in the district, Her expertise in running a business, including a budget, working with employees, and knowing firsthand the struggles of students and staff in the district would be invaluable. Ms. Kimberly Pacelli has a master's in education, experience in special education law, handling challenging and various viewpoints, and conflict resolution. These skills and their expertise would make a natural fit for the school board. We simply can't afford to lose yet another superintendent. We need someone who will focus on bringing our school board together to forge a path forward that focuses on all students, parents, and staff, not someone that will be divisive and push the narrow agenda. Thank you.
Do now have one of my shirts.
Online, bring them up.
Robin.
Yeah, hi, everyone. Good evening. Robin Brooks, 47 Ivanhoe Drive. And I emailed all of the select board, but I also wrote a letter today, just in case you, for whatever reason, didn't receive the email. I'm also here to speak in support. I was not aware there were 3 candidates for the open school board seat. So I'm here to speak in support of Jennifer Banis's candidacy. I am a retired teacher. My letter goes into more detail. I won't, take up your time, but essentially, I had lots of interactions with her. She was a regular parent volunteer and congenial, helpful. Her children were well-mannered. I know that we're not interviewing her children, but boy, I just, wished we could have cloned her and her family. They were just a delight. And, I second what Tracy Gregoire said about wanting a school board that's functional. And we want to attract a superintendent who will stay and who will support our teachers, and our children and the families. And so I urge you to choose a candidate who will be a bridge builder, who will support our public schools. And thank you.
One more line.
Next.
Hello, Nate Cloutier, 14 Perkins Street, Topsham. Just like to give my support to Annalise Sarvinas for this open school board position. Just listening to these last couple of comments, the level of divisiveness that's come to this point is just very unfortunate. Annalise is a teacher. She's got great experience, and I fully support her to be the interim school board member.
Thank you.
No one else online.
Anyone else? Public comment? Nothing. Correspondence. So all I am going to say is that we received, I think Matt said something like 90 emails this week about only this one issue later on in the agenda. That sounded like a number. I stopped looking at 3:30 today. So Matt's, I think, was the most up to date that we received 90 correspondence. Some of those were the same people sending multiple. Some of those were from people who do not live in the town of Topsham. And that would be all I'm going to say with correspondence, because I'm not going to read that out loud tonight. Anyone else have any other correspondence through the week? Nothing. No. Any adjustments to the agenda? Consent calendar, approval of the minutes of regular select board meeting, February 2nd, 2023. So second. Motion seconded, all in favor. Unanimous. Public hearing 2314, consideration any appropriate action on the approval of special amusements license for Corey Edwin Garber, Post 202, American Legion. As always with our public hearings, I will gavel it open. Once the public hearing is open, that is the only time the crowd, the public, can ask or make any comments regarding the item being brought up. During that time, I'm going to ask a couple questions, and I imagine someone from the Legion will probably make a opening statement. Thank you. And once I close the public hearing through the gavel, there will be no more comments by anyone outside of those from the board. This public hearing, consideration of any appropriate action on approval of special amusements license for the Corey Edwin Garber, Post 202, American Legion. Commander appears, Commander, no, shoot,
Commander's here.
okay.
Commander's here.
Commander's-
I'm Dawn Aldis. I live at 52 Mallet Drive, and tonight I'm here representing the Corey E. Garber American Legion Post 202 as the adjutant. And we are applying for, or asking permission for special amusement.
I'm Cheryl Moore. I live at 622 River Road in Topsham, and I'm the commander of post 202.
All right, so we always ask, I don't know, have you, either of you been through this before?
I have.
All right, so you're gonna be familiar, because it's the same script from last year.
Cool, I got those answers.
So good. Good going. I've already got pre-filled the applicant, the location, your liquor license expires 1/7/2024.
Correct.
You're looking for types of entertainment being live music and DJ. Areas for the entertainment's the downstairs lounge, the upstairs hall.
Correct.
Okay, good.
The deck and the softball fields.
The entertainment's done on the
Some of the
softball.
entertainment is done on the deck. Oh, well, the entertainment I'm thinking of on softball field is our winter classic.
Yeah, no, I think we're
Okay.
more special amusement type
Okay,
music.
no, it would be the
DJs.
deck also.
Because if you go outside of your fenced-in area and you do any entertainment, I think that's a completely different meter.
Okay.
And thank you for giving me your nod, and I appreciate that. Nights of entertainment, is there anything, and obviously I would imagine the normal Friday, Saturdays, but do you envision could happen anytime?
It could, we have small events during the week for different, like for St. Patrick's Day or something like that. We have small events for that, nothing.
Regularly scheduled isn't
Right.
a Tuesday night?
No.
Okay, so. Give me a second as I fill this out, because Patty really likes to go home with this, so she can take the notes.
And we want you to get it right, so we get our license.
What I had varies from 9 AM to 1:30 AM, I think was in your current application. Any furniture, so let's think first of all with the downstairs lounge. Do you move around any furniture if you were to have any of the entertainment, you change around the layout of the,
We push tables together. That's about the extent of it.
so lounge. Tables. And upstairs in the hall, is it always set up as the banquet setup?
No, it's not. It's set up, when we have an event upstairs, it's set up how the, person using the hall wants it set up, so.
Okay.
And it's taken down, up and down all the time.
Okay. So essentially nothing's moved from the time it's set. So the lounge downstairs, is it basically the full building? Length and width?
No, it's, when you go in the door, it's in front of the bar, from the bar to the kids,
Okay,
usually.
so is that probably halfway of the building? Because you're 100 by 35, so let's say
About
you're
halfway.
50 by 35. Then thinking of the size of the hall, you've got your entryway with the bathrooms and such. And then it goes all the way down through to the stage, so it's about the same full length, between 100 by 35.
Yes.
So I've got seating capacity in the past is the lounge of 81 in the hall 263.
Actually, the hall is 225.
Oh my, we gotta read that.
Denied.
You know what's great? I do not have to go home and correct this for next year. Yes, there's adequate parking. I'm not even gonna ask you that, because I know that. We do have letters from the police and fire department that they have no issues issuing this. That's the only questions I have of you guys. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak during the public hearing?
None online.
You did or didn't?
None online.
Okay. Public hearing is now closed. So the board, do you have any questions or start going through conclusions and motion? All right. Conclusion, based on the findings, it is concluded that the issuance of a special amusement permit would not be detrimental to the public health, safety, or welfare, or would violate municipal ordinances, rules, or regulations. Does the board agree?
Yes.
Yes. And I will make the motion that an application for special amusement permit for Corey E. Garver, American Post 202 be granted as meeting requirements. Maine revised statutes, Title 25-A, Section 1054 in the Topsham Code, Chapter 71, Article 1, Section 6 and 7. That is a motion. Motion and seconded. All those in favor? Unanimous. For you, Patty.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Oh, on the new business, consideration any appropriate action to authorize the town manager to execute a contract with Harriman and Associates for the community center needs assessment in the amount of $16,800 with the funding to come from the Topsham Community Fund. Hello, Leslie.
Thank you for having me. I'm here to update on what we've been working on. The community center received 3 responses to the needs assessment request for proposal in late December. We completed 2 interviews in January and found Harriman and Associates, who are out of Auburn, to be a good fit for our needs. They shared a detailed presentation of what the process would be to work with them, and they were easily able to answer all of our questions. At the interview, they had 3 partners present, and all of them were engaging, organized, experienced, and familiar with our local and surrounding community. We've heard directly from Wyndham that Harriman worked with them and they were accessible and vested in the work that they did with them. In meeting with them, we decided that we might not want to do the full amount that they proposed, and which would include the potential building designs and costs. That was in their estimate, and they were very open to talk with us and say, what is it exactly that you would need? And they came back within a day or 2 with a decreased total. So we're now considering that. So that was great. And they said if at any point we wanted to do the second part of it, that would be fine, but this would at least give us a lot of information that we need. The cost that you see on page 2 of the memo reflects the components of what we would like to do to move forward with the needs assessment for the community center. We felt really good about them and easy to work with and ready to get started. It's a great price. It's right where we were looking for. They're ready to get started right away. So they've got a good vision for us.
So with the change of request, was Chesapeake given an opportunity in that manner also?
We met with Chesapeake and there was really no comparison between the 2. It was the first. Harriman had a beautiful slideshow and all of the information we needed and just really easy back and forth. And it just, there was.
That makes sense.
No comparison.
What does the public outreach community engagement component entail? If there are one of their proposed actions? It's not gonna make a big impact as to how I vote on these things.
Right. Like, just give me a second, do you guys remember?
It's basically a mixture of some live events.
Sorry, I have to do it. Name and address, please.
Mark Waltz, Assistant Town Manager, One Teal Road, happy to be here on Patty's 80th. So it's a mixture of live events as well as some written materials, survey type things, websites someone might respond to, might be hybrid events sort of as this. So the proposal from the Chesapeake one was almost all online stuff, which obviously makes it hard to reach some of our population. So we like the fact that Harriman Associates have live things as well.
They're much more present for us.
Any further questions?
Good job.
Are you gonna read it? Is that what you're staring at me about? Okay.
I make a motion to authorize the town manager to execute a contract with Harriman and Associates for the community center needs assessment in the amount of $16,800 with the funding to come from the Topsham Community Fund.
Second.
It's on you, Patty, choose. Motion seconded, all those in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie.
Yeah, thank you for the work.
Yeah.
Keep dogging it.
We're excited.
2316, consideration any appropriate action on the purchase of new video camera equipment in both the public safety building and town hall.
Good evening, Mark Hagan, Chief of Police. So we have, right now, we have 7 cameras in the police station that monitor the lobby, the booking area, our interview rooms, and then we have one that looks at the back lot. And the system was put in by a former employee who, back I said former, he's no longer here. We don't have anybody in the PD that can run the system. The system is not functional, and we can't get any commercial companies to service the equipment because they didn't install it, and one company that was willing couldn't get into the server. So what we would like to do would be to update the system, get new cameras in there, and obviously have a functional camera system in the building. At the same time, we'd like to put 5 cameras over here in the town hall to monitor the entrances and exits, as well as the front office here, clerk's office, and the archive room. There was a request to do it at the archive room as well. So we reached out to 3 companies for estimates. We had one returned from A3 Communications, another from Cunningham Security. We also were speaking to the company that did that we have our body cameras and cruiser cameras through. We didn't get an estimate back from them. They're not from in-state, and it became cumbersome for them to give us an actual estimate, so they didn't provide one. And we would, we'd like to move forward with the A3 Communications of Cumberland. We already have a relationship with them. They're the company that runs our current security system with the door passes and key fobs and so forth. And they're only $141 more than Cunningham Security. They're a good company. We've never had a real issue with service with them. We'd like to move forward with them.
Any questions of the chief? I have never seen 2 bids come in so close.
Yeah.
No crazy one in there. I'll make a motion that we approve to move forward with A3 Communications of Cumberland in the amount of $223.05 for building camera purchase request. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. All those in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thanks, chief.
It could have taken a lot more sand. It could have been taking a lot more sand if you want to get a lot of there.
2317, consideration and appropriate action on posting the list of roads from March 2nd, 2023 to April 28, 2023, or sooner if conditions probably apply. Go ahead, Dennis.
Good evening, Dennis Cox, Topsham Public Works Director. It's the seasonal task of posting a road to protect the taxpayers' investments for the roads. The roads chosen are the ones that pretty much have either a logging operation potential or home construction work going on by them. There is a permits process in place, same one that's been there for years. So if a contractor moving a piece of equipment in or out, work being done, a homeowner with a delivery, there are ways that they can get a permit and get through it. It's not a road posting. You can't use the road for 30 days. That's not the case. There's do's and don'ts. When it's dry and cold, they're still available to get out. It's just protecting the blacktop, the hot top, and makeup of the road.
You still feel good today with March 2nd as your start date?
No. With your permission, we can start it tomorrow.
Right.
We're ready to go when the weather permits, and it's 52 degrees today, and going to be rain tonight. We probably want to do something for the weekend.
Yep, agreed. Just so everyone at home knows what those are, it's Winter Street, River Road from Main Street to White House Crossing Road, White House Crossing Road, Candidates Road, Meadow Cross Road, Ward Road, West Merrill Road, Roberts Hill Road, Forsyth Road from Townsend Way to Middlesex Road, Blueberry Lane, Park Drive. So make a motion to post roads 17th tomorrow, beginning February 17th through April 28th, 2023, or sooner if conditions allow. Sorry. Motion seconded, all those in favor? Unanimous. Thanks, Dennis.
Thank you.
2318, consideration any appropriate action on the appointment to South 75 board to complete an unexpired term. So we were presented with a resignation letter of a member from Miss AD 75 school board 2 weeks ago, and then that set in motion the state statute of how it gets filled. As I said earlier, we had a number of letters this week about this issue. And I just want everyone to know that it is, how this happens is set in Title 20-A, Education, on how filling vacancies. It's been referred to as archaic this week, but the law, the statute that is the municipal officers of the municipality in which the director resided shall select an interim director to the municipality and sub-district to serve until the next annual municipal election. The interim director shall serve until a successor is elected and qualified, that being this coming November. So we are appointing somebody from this evening until November. You know, throughout the week, we received a lot of emails, and I said it earlier, about who to appoint, make the right decision. I voted for you in the past. If you want that to happen again, please make the right decision.
Lots of that.
What's that?
Lots of that.
Lots of that. And it's this week, I will say for my, and really it's been since Monday. It's been pretty stressful as a board member, and it very much is an eye-opening to what some of the issues that are going on in this district. Because those that begin the letter with civility question what we've done in the past, and we may not vote for you again if you don't elect, you know, choose who we want. So, but those that, and there were a lot that simply said, hey, I'm looking for someone that meets this criteria, so I do appreciate that. Does anyone else have any comment before we move through this thing? Ruth? No?
Basically, I want to echo what you're saying, Dave. I was disheartened to see those kind of comments. And truthfully, it's those kind of comments that has divided the board and has not made it functional as a board. And the way I did a lot of investigation before I came here tonight to try to vote for the right person for the right job. And I talked to, not too long ago, other board members and some staff and things like that, and how they felt. And they felt that the board right now is very divisive. And there's 10% with loud voices and 90% not, because they don't want to get in, they just don't want fighting and things like that. So having said that, whoever gets this tonight has to be strong. They're going to have to listen, and they're going to have to do what's right for the children, for the school, the staff, and they're going to have to do what's right for the taxpayers, irrespective of any political views they have. That should not even be playing into this. And so again, I was very disheartened to see those. We might not vote for you again. That's a problem. So thank you for the ones that didn't, and thank you for the 3 that have applied. So.
Oh, and then Matt.
This is what I mentioned to you earlier. I was actually very pleased to see as many people write letters as they did. You know, there have been years when there have been school board director positions open that have been run unopposed. So remember this in November, because you know, this is not one kind of thing. You want to be active all the time in school board. So yeah, thanks for the letters. We appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, I wish we had that many people show up for budget hearings, right? That'd be helpful. I think ripping on what Dave said, many of these letters were, several of them were templates, obviously, copy and paste. But they began lecturing us on civility and ended by insulting us. And the irony was not lost, I don't think, on any of us, with those types of support letters. Clearly, this is a very passionate issue in this community. I don't believe, and I've only been on the board for 4 years now, but I don't think any of you have ever received as much feedback with one particular item as this.
I would question if I've gotten 90 emails in 11 years.
So with that said, there was a question in our last interview about what we're looking for in a candidate, and you guys just heard me say this, so forgive me. But during the onset of COVID, at the very beginning, dark days when nobody had any idea what the hell was going on, excuse me, we all essentially took this unspoken agreement amongst ourselves to throw the national nonsense out the window and work together. And we all have varying, in some cases widely varying, political philosophies and ideologies. And we have functioned exceptionally well over the past 4 years. And even before that, I mean, Thompson was great too, right? So I think taking a step back and a deep breath is a really important first step for whatever the school board does next. We're looking for someone who is centrist, logical, objective, and I use the term, not going to start throwing grenades the second they get in to the board, and because that's absolutely not what the board needs right now, at least from my perspective. So as has been mentioned already, it's been a very interesting week. This is definitely unlike any of the experience I've had in this chair so far. So, those are my comments.
Excellent. Maria?
That just, I forgot to say, if anyone's done, 7 years ago, we probably practically had to go and knock on doors and beg people to run. And so now it's good to see at least 3 people are interested and see that the board is will be on a full slate. But I want to say there was no interest at all, and the interest in the last 2 years have really grown.
All right, we looking to move?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Anyone wants to talk about anything or just run at it?
Let's
Who
run
wants
at
to
it.
be the first one to say something and see where we all fall?
Could I make a motion
Oh, you're gonna go.
to appoint, based on interviews, feedback, and conversations with ex-school board members as well. Kim Pacelli, to the unfinished term, for the SAD 75 school board.
Motion. Okay, Marie can second that. Motion seconded. Is there any other nominations?
I will nominate Jennifer Harris.
Jennifer Banas. Do we have a second for Jennifer Banas? Seeing none, that nomination ceases. Is there any other nominations? Nothing. So I will call a vote to appoint Kimberly Pacelli to the MSAD 75 school board until the term expires November 2023. Motion, do I have a second? We have a second. All those in favor? 5-0. Thank you. Sure.
I just think we had 3 excellent candidates and interviewed very well. That's very difficult.
2319, consideration any appropriate action to authorize the assistant town manager to execute on behalf of the town the January 25, 2023 letter of permission from Central Maine Power regarding Doris Lane.
First off, I should explain
Oh, I was very interested.
how my name ended up on there.
Yeah, me too.
I had reached out to Central Maine Power because the public works director who's also here had trouble turning the plows around at the end of West Wind Drive because there's a fence straight ahead and the property on the right has told them they don't want the plows to back up there. So it leaves us only the area at the end of the road on the left, which is Central Maine Power property now burdened by Doris Lane. Central Maine Power is eager to work with us, and because they were talking with me, they sent me something to sign. So rather than have them redo it for the town manager, and it helped my ego a little, I didn't ask them to change it, but there was not a mutiny involved, and Derek is still my leader, and I pledge allegiance to him.
Wow. So you came out of this smelling like a really good one.
And happy birthday, Patty.
It's a pie instead of cake.
He really wants to buy, doesn't he?
Does anybody have any questions of the assistant town manager? Yeah, we've got everything we need. I'll make a motion to authorize the assistant town manager to execute on behalf of the town and town manager. The January 25th, 2023 letter of permission from Central Maine Power regarding Doris Lane. Motion,
Second.
thank you. Motion and seconded. All those in favor? Unanimous. Next up, executive session, the board 23-20, enter into executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA subsection 405(6)(c) to discuss acquisition of real property for economic development. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Motion seconded. All those in favor to enter into executive session? Hey, Ruth.
You guys.